All right, so we got Ben from El Salvador. How are you?
Fine, thank you. A bit humid, but okay. Yes, my question is about what do you say about the subjugation of natives in America by the conquistadors using Christianity?
It was bad.
Yes, but over the ages, how come, at least to my ignorance, how come Christianity has continued when obviously it's just sunk us in worse situations, both sociologically and politically?
So when you're selling something like an afterlife, that appeals to people. When you're selling something like hope, that appeals to people, whether or not it's ultimately true. So one of the things that we see in religions, some of them are more forceful, some of them have more carrot and some of them have more stick. In other words, some of them offer rewards that are appealing. Whether or not they're actually real, nobody knows. And some of them offer the threats, and some of them offer a mix. And
it helps if you have all the guns, and you're able to kill off a generation and then take all the children and raise them in your monastic schools. That really helps to subjugate an indigenous population if you want to convert them to your religion. Because
there are people in groups. And these individual groups may do absolutely horrific things. Take, ISIS running around destroying archaeological, historic sites that conflict with their religion. Yes. I find that absolutely reprehensible. Do you think that they think they're evil?
Yes.
You think that ISIS thinks that they in fact are evil? That ISIS is evil?
Oh no. I think
okay.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a subject disagreement there. So the people who are doing this don't think that they're doing something evil. They think they're doing something good. What's happened is that their religious views have polluted their brain to the point where they think that evil things are actually good.
That's interesting because we have a slight gang problem. What you see with many of these gangs is that they do use religion within their own cliques, but most of it they use to justify forgiveness for their actions, regardless how violent or cruel they are. And I definitely see some parallels with what you're seeing, but
it does though, because when you take a look at gangs, I think gang members, even the most violent gang members running around doing stuff, don't look at themselves as evil. They have a worldview where they view themselves as the victim of a society, and they are responding to the society that put them in a terrible situation, and their violence is justified. This is payback. This is, I'm getting what I deserved. This is, you took things from me and I'm now taking them back, whether it's real and true or not. Almost nobody thinks they're evil. I'm sure there's somebody, I'll probably get an email from somebody who's proud of the fact that they're evil. But generally speaking, nobody thinks they're evil, even if we would view them that way.
Nobody that's going gung-ho doing stuff anyway.
And when you mix that, when you give someone a positive goal, like, hey, Jesus just loves people and wants to save everybody, but there's this convoluted pathway that we have to go through, and some of what he wants you to do may appear to be evil, but ultimately it'll do good, because you can come up with examples like, would it be wrong for me to stick a knife in your throat? Well, not if you need an emergency tracheotomy. And so once you convince people that roughly what they're doing is giving the world an emergency tracheotomy, all of a sudden all of their evil is good in their eyes. That's the poison that religion injects society with, because it is concerned about,
And if you can convince them that the people that they're harming are evil and doing damage and harm and deserve to die, and that
if somebody's standing over a little kid and is about to plunge a knife into the little kid, all of a sudden you feel like you're justified to just shoot them in the head. Well, if you take that literal situation and turn it into a metaphor, where now it's perhaps the government has a metaphorical knife at your kid's throat, then you have a justification to oppose the government. And in some cases that's the case, but whether or not the situation is accurately represented is the issue.
Okay. Yeah, because like what we get here, believe it or not, we do get creationists but they're not that vocal because it's perceived as normal to believe that, and the absence
Sure.
of science in schools. But it's surprising to me that in some areas they have this vacuum of empathy, because recently we had this trial where this woman, she miscarried, but people interpret that as she deliberately and with conscience killed her baby, and she spent years going in trials in and out of prison because they don't understand the concept of miscarriage and abortion. That one is just a coincidence, and the other one is that has a deliberate thought of doing so.
Yeah, if you're talking about the case, that I heard about, she's actually convicted and in prison at this moment, right? No? Was that
Yes,
ever?
sadly.
Yes, she is.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
He said she is. So maybe we're talking about different cases, or maybe you're talking about a different case. I have somebody shaking their head, who I trust and adore. Just saying. Anyway, thanks for calling, Ben. I appreciate it.
Love the show, man. Love the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging with us during our hiatus. Yeah, I did 20 days in Australia, came back for 4 days, then went to Memphis for a week for the American Atheist Convention, came back and did the University of Texas at San Antonio,
Crazy.
and then a Skype thing with the University of Illinois, and this coming week I leave for Manchester. I'll be in Manchester, United Kingdom, for QEDCon. So, and I'm going to shoot an interview with Professor A.C. Grayling while I'm there.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah. How do you not love a trip like that, even if it's just a few days? But hopefully we'll continue to fix phones, and I think this has gone incredibly well considering how things looked about
Well,
2
let's
minutes
keep
before we went live.
rolling.
So
We've
let's
got a
get